Hello, my name is Marty Aiden. I'm the Director of the Spiritual Care Department at New Hanover Regional Medical Center. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. The chaplains are called when someone has questions about advanced directives, that is, your living will and your healthcare power of attorney. We are the ones who explain the choices you have when you think about the care you want to receive when you approach the end of your life. We believe it's very important to talk with your loved ones and your friends about the kind of health care you want or don't want, and to put those choices in writing, so that when the time comes, your doctors and all those who are caring for you will know what you want. We realize that these decisions are not the easiest decisions to make, or these are not the easiest things to talk about. So the chaplains are here to help you think through what you want and to talk with your loved ones if needed. We want your voice to be heard and your choices honored. Your voice, your choice. People often have a lot of questions about these forms, and so we hope this short video will answer most of them for you. If you have questions after you've seen this video or want to talk to a chaplain later, please feel free to contact us.
Come in.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ayler. How are you?
Not too bad.
Good. My name's Latoya, and I'm one of the chaplains here at New Hanover. And I hear you might be interested in hearing about an advance directive. Is that right?
That's correct, yes.
So are you familiar with the parts of an advance directive?
I've heard of it before, but do you mind explaining it to me again?
Sure, that's no problem. Well, there's two parts to an advance directive, and the first part is a healthcare power of attorney. And what that is a document that allows you to appoint a healthcare agent who's able to make decisions on your behalf when you're not able to do so yourself. Okay? Now, the key to that is that you want that person, whoever you select, to know about it, and also that they'll be able to follow your choices, your healthcare choices, or your wishes if you aren't able to speak for yourself. Okay. And what the healthcare power of attorney allows them to do, so a list of things here, they can start or stop life-prolonging procedures. They can also review your medical information. They can donate your organs, and they can also arrange for autopsies and disposition of your body upon your death. Okay?
Okay.
All right, and regarding your organs, there's a spot here on your healthcare power of attorney that if you want your agent to be able to donate your organs, you would initial there. Okay? Without that, they don't have the power to donate your organs or your parts after your death. Okay? Do you have any questions about the healthcare power of attorney?
Who specifically could be my healthcare agent?
It does not have to be a family member, but the person that you choose has to be at least 18 years old. And the thing you want to keep in mind is that are they going to be willing to follow your choices or your wishes as far as your health care goes if you're not able to speak for yourself. So those are two things that you have to keep in mind, but they do not have to be a family member.
Okay. Can I have more than one healthcare agent?
You can list a couple of people here, but only one agent acts at a time. So if your first choice for your agent is not able to act on your behalf, then it would refer to the next person. Okay? But not simultaneously.
Okay. And so what if they can't get in touch with, so if they can't get in touch with the first healthcare agent, they would call the second one?
Yes.
Is that what it?
Yes, they would. And in that case, for both people that you choose, you want to make sure that they're at least 18 years old and able to follow your wishes.
Okay.
When
does this go into effect?
The healthcare power of attorney goes into effect once an event occurs, a medical event occurs, when you are not able to speak for yourself. And at that point, doctors would call your agent, get in touch with your agent to see what decisions have to be made on your behalf. Okay.
And what does this mean down here, special instructions? Can you give me an example of what that means?
Yes. An example of that would be if there are certain medications or blood products or any specific instructions that you don't want done for you, or if there is a certain funeral home maybe that you want to have pick you up from the hospital, pick your body up from the hospital, you can put that there. Just anything that you feel healthcare related that is very specific that they would need to know or you would want them to know would go in that section.
Okay.
Okay?
Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you.
So let's move on to the living will, and that's the next page over.
Okay.
And a living will it's a document that we put in place where you're able to make choices now concerning life-prolonging procedures that might happen to you. And in those events, you aren't able to speak for yourself. This document would let your healthcare agent and doctors know what you want in those situations. So on the first part, it says, if I am unable to make or communicate healthcare decisions, I desire that my life not be prolonged by life-prolonging procedures in the following situations. Okay, we're going to start there. I have a condition that cannot be cured and that will result in my death within a short period of time. That would be an example like cancer or kidney or liver failure. Mm-hmm. And you're not expected to live for maybe just a few months, weeks, or days. Okay? And at that point, if you do want this, if you do want life-prolonging procedures, you would initial there.
Okay.
Okay. And then on the next statement, it says, if I become unconscious and my doctors determine that to a high degree of medical certainty, I will never regain my consciousness. For instance, if you're in a vegetative state and you're not expected to wake up or to get better, mm-hmm. then you can initial here if you would like doctors to keep you as comfortable and pain-free as possible, and that you don't want life-prolonging procedures.
Okay.
If you do want life-prolonging procedures, you want them to do everything they can to save your life, then you would leave it blank.
Okay.
Okay? And the same with the third statement. If I suffer from advanced dementia or any other condition that results in the substantial loss of my ability to think, and my doctors determine that to a high degree of certainty, this is not going to get better. An example of that would be dementia or Alzheimer's or any other disease that would affect your ability to think. Mm-hmm. Okay. In that case, you would also, if you want to be kept as comfortable as possible and pain-free, you would initial there. But if you desire for them to do everything they can to save your life, then you would leave it blank. Okay. Okay. Do you have any questions?
So what if I only wanted to initial the first two?
If you only want to initial the first two, that's completely up to you, and it's fine. Now, in part 2, it asks if you want to be fed through a tube. If you have chosen to be kept comfortable in the first part, then mm-hmm. we wouldn't need to address part 2. But if you want to be fed through a tube, then you would initial the blank here, mm-hmm. only if you want to receive tube feedings. Okay.
Okay.
And the third part is just a statement, and there's no choice to make there, but it's written so everyone understands that you really want to be kept comfortable, okay, and that life-prolonging procedures are not going to be in effect at that point. You want to be kept pain-free, and you want to be made comfortable. And even if a doctor gives you a drug like morphine to help with the pain that you might be going through at that time, mm-hmm. and it slows your breathing down enough that you do die, then your family would understand and they would not sue the doctor. Mm-hmm. Okay. So part 4 addresses the doctor, okay, your mm-hmm. healthcare provider, and they also understand that you are choosing to discontinue life-prolonging procedures, and that in all of the situations that you initial above. Okay. So the first would allow your family to know that you, and part 3 would allow your family to know that you want to be kept as pain-free and comfortable as possible, and also the healthcare providers will also know only in the situations that you choose you want to be kept pain-free and made as comfortable as possible.
Okay.
Okay. Now part 5 is very important, and it asks you to make a choice. You have to choose between 2 items, and the first one says that you want your healthcare provider and power of attorney to follow the wishes that you have put on paper. So it says, follow this living will. And if you initial that, it does not give your healthcare power of attorney or your agent the choice to make any more decisions if you initial that. And that means that everything you have put in place stays in place. Okay?
On this form?
Yes, on this form. But there's also an opportunity for you to allow your healthcare agent to still have the ability to make choices in these situations. And if you do want them to still be able to make choices, then you would initial the second blank.
Okay, so just so I understand this, so if I initial follow healthcare agent, they could override what I've initialed up here?
They would not be making decisions that are outside of what you've chosen, but it'll give them room to make a decision if they feel they need to. Such as if they weren't sure that in this instance, or whatever instance it is, that you would want to just remain pain-free and comfortable, then they would make decisions that would go along with what they think you would want. But they would be taking your wishes into consideration.
Okay.
In the living will, some people know what they want up front, and they go ahead and they fill it out and they say follow it. Some people don't really know for sure that in that situation they would just want to remain pain-free and comfortable. So if you choose to have your healthcare agent make choices, make decisions for you, then it just gives them space to do the best thing for you in that situation.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have any more questions?
So what's the difference between this and a DNR?
Okay, a do not resuscitate order is something that you would speak with your nurse and your doctor about. They would put a measure in place that if you were to go in what we call a code blue, then you do not want to be resuscitated. It means that you do not want them to do chest compressions or CPR on you to bring you back or to save your life. That if that happens to you, you're saying you do not want to be resuscitated. And that is something that you would have to put in place along with your healthcare team.
Okay.
Okay. But the difference is that these are situations that you might not anticipate right now, but if they do happen, then you're able to say what you would want in those situations.
Do I have to fill out a living will?
You don't. If you are comfortable with your just filling out a healthcare power of attorney and appointing someone to be able to make decisions on your behalf when you're not able to, then you would just initial here at the top that you do not want a living will, and we would just make sure we draw a line so that no one can write past your initials up top.
Okay.
So those are the parts of an advance directive, and when you're ready to sign the signature page, you'll have to do it in front of a notary and 2 witnesses. Okay?
Okay.
Do you have any more questions?
So who do I contact once I get this filled out?
Okay, you would contact your, just let your nurse know to get a chaplain for you because you're ready to finalize your advance directive, and a chaplain will come with 2 notaries and get it done for you.
Great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
Thank you for watching this video. If you have any further questions or are ready to sign your living will or healthcare power of attorney, please ask your nurse to contact the spiritual care department. A chaplain will be glad to come and talk with you.